Shout out to Draye, shout out to Jerry. Let's go. Who that? Who that? Ayy. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Ayy. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Well, you ain't, cause you can't. Yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Well, you ain't, cause you can't. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Well, you ain't, cause you can't. Yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Well, you ain't, cause you can't. Yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Let's get it up on the play, Marshawn Lattimore. Running to the motherfucking bank like an animal. AK-41, leave a nigga ankle. Fall, her, let that motherfucker dangle. Shout out to my girl, she my angel. When she throw it back, I catch it like a Michael Thomas. Sitting back, waiting on my motherfucking terms. Like I'm Andy Dalton. Man, what the motherfucking deal is? I'm a motherfucking house like Tyson Hill. Yeah, you know we grinding trying to get you meals. And you know I never took a bad deal. If the ops play, I'ma send a blitz. The Mario Davis, bitch, I'm blinking shit. I see the dirt birds there, they talking shit. But I bet you pussy niggas ain't gon' win. Who that? Who that? Ayy. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints?
Welcome back to WhoDatTV. Like my boy Kid Timmy D said, who that said they're gonna beat them Saints, huh? Got us a dub, big dub at that. We got that to talk about, man. We also got our week 5 Breesy Picks of the week recap. We're gonna get into the Bengals game coming up too. But before we do all that, let me bring in my brother, my co-host, Jay Floyd.
Hey, who that? Do. Look, man, I'm so live to be coming to y'all, other fellow Saints fans, you know, as a 2-3 football team instead of a 1-4 football team in a must-win situation. So much to talk about. I can't wait to get Ken in here.
So live, man. And speaking on my brother Ken, our other co-host, let us bring him in. Kendric, what's up, my boy?
Hey, who that?
Yes, what you got on again, kid? What you got on again, man? Man, let's go, man.
Let me find out.
Let's go, man.
The blue-eyed boy from BYU, baby. Let's get it.
Yes,
boy. He gonna come up with a first down or a touchdown.
One of the
Get
others.
money on it.
You hear me? He's making statements, boy.
Man, and my dog went off, man.
As a QB. But you can do everything else.
Swiss Army knife, like I never seen before.
Man, I'm talking about doing it all on the field, man. This dude on special teams, this dude running the rock, he passing the rock, he blocking it, man.
Whatever you want,
whatever
water
you need
boy,
him to do.
Fill up the water cooler.
Man, we might as well put him a head coach after that game.
Take the coach's
man.
daughter to preschool before practice. All of it, man. I'm loving it.
You can check your mail, make you a glass of Kool-Aid. What that boy say on Friday Night Lights? He can't even throw the ball.
Yes, sir. And he can pass. Take some hill like Booby Miles on them boys.
Doing it all, man. Doing it all, man. We're going to chop it up about that Seahawks game. But before we get into that, fellas, man, let's go ahead and do the Week 5 Breesy Picks of the Week recap.
Ooh, we had a good week, all of us, I think.
No, I had a terrible week, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. I went from going 7-2 to 2-7. Terrible.
That ain't
it.
I know, you know, some of my picks, man, they were so close, man.
That's the thing.
We can go down the list.
We're gonna go down there, man. The first things first, man, was that Lions and Patriots game. I was close on the score, but I was the other way around. It was the other way around, bro. I pulled for the Lions, man, and them Patriots blasted the Lions.
Oh my, 27-0, I believe, or 28-0.
29-0.
Something like it. Golly.
Yeah. Yes, sir, man.
Like 20-something to 3, didn't you?
Yeah, man.
The other way on the Lions part. Yeah.
That's I think we all had the Lions, bro.
It was totally opposite.
Sir,
Floyd
you picked the Patriots. Okay.
Floyd we didn't all have the Lions. Hey, but I thought it was going to be close. If you rewind the tape, I said it was going to come down to like a field goal.
I just don't.
It was not that.
I don't get it, man. Number one offense, you know, you go to not being able to put up a point, man. Against the Patriots, man. You know, it's crazy. The Patriots kicked 5 field goals, bro. Like
Mhm.
5.
Wow.
Kicking game came down to the line of scrimmage in that kicking game. And
Bill
coaching.
Belichick, no, he goated, man.
Man, I'm talking about who they didn't even have Mac, huh? Yeah, they ain't had Mac, did they?
Not at all. They had Bailey
No.
Zappi as the
Oh.
starting quarterback, and that offense didn't miss a beat. Honestly, they
You gotta
didn't
look at the head
dominate
coach.
the Lions on offense, but their defense pitched
I'm
a
gonna say
shutout
that.
and pretty much made it a non-contestable game.
Defense definitely won them that game for sure.
That's facts, man. The next one we had two fellas was the Falcons and the Bucks. And man, look, that game, bruh.
Hey,
Look,
So much to talk about.
yo,
Listen,
Tom Brady gets that call, man. Come on, man. That's ridiculous.
if you as an NFL or a football fan in general, regardless of what your team is, don't see what's going on when one out of the 60-something quarterbacks in the league take the field every week, then something's wrong with you or you don't know the game, man. The Buccaneers are getting phantom calls every week to win the game at this point.
Hey, that call was straight up just embarrassing, man. We've seen a couple like that, and I really think it. I forgot what commentators was talking about it, but it really all stemmed from those scary concussions. Now I know they've been calling bullcrap before, but this week we seen a lot more, like a lot.
Mhm.
You know,
That's the only reason he got that call, honestly, because of what been going on in Miami with Tua
I
and
would have got it before because Tom Brady, he a cheater. We're gonna put that out there. He a cheater. Nah.
I think only because it's Tom Brady, that's what makes it worse.
That's my opinion on it.
That's bad. I don't know. Whenever we get to the Raiders game, we could talk about that one too, because that was another bad one.
Oh yeah,
Chris Jones, man.
Yep.
But,
and so the only noticeable difference between the two is he actually landed on Derek Carr, whereas when Tom Brady was brought down, he turned himself so that he's bringing the quarterback on top of him and rolled over, and apparently that was unnecessary or illegal.
but it wasn't like a slam, like it was just like you said, a little roll over. It wasn't a slam, so that's why I was like, "Come on, now that call shouldn't have been made, man." And
terrible call.
The refs had to make up for that call off of, I want to say, another call they gave the Falcons or whatever. So that was like a makeup call, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So, but
so bad.
Hey,
So bad. All of it's bad.
Gonna be a blowout. The Bucks did take off on them, but then the Falcons doing what they do. They
pull back through.
I think they're 5-1 or whatever their record is against the spread. They did what they did on the back end.
Yeah, their defense brought them back into that game. That defense is kind of playing lights out. It's just there's not a lot of mystery on offense. You kind of know what they're trying to get done, running the football, basically.
Facts.
I wish they could have pulled it out. That would have helped us out a whole lot.
Man, tremendously, man. It would have helped us out big.
Hey,
huge.
you pick the Falcons though.
Me and Floyd.
Mm-hmm. I'm naive.
I cannot roll a team that's just lacking so many pieces offensively, man.
Yeah, they was lacking big, and I feel like they would have had them players, Ken, bro. They would have pulled through, 100%. Bro.
I know their offense was moving much differently when they had Cordero, bro. Like that dude was killing them guys, and once I seen he was out, I knew it was over. And then I know people always talking, down on Kyle Pitts because he's not really producing. But he is producing because that is a weapon that you cannot ignore. Like
exactly.
You got a game plan. We've seen this man. He really is a freak of nature, right? He basically like Julio Jones at tight end.
Exactly.
People. That's why he can't produce like people want him to because they are game planning against that man.
Shadowing them a lot, yep, and bringing safeties on them and not even letting linebackers guard them. Drake London was out on the game too, so it's like they were missing too much. You're right.
Way too much. They're hurting, man. I actually feel bad for them because I think like they got pieces to be competitive. Like I actually think that their DBs are playing really well. Like AJ Terrell, that man's pretty elite. Even after we cooked that man in the national championship, but he is definitely balling in the league right now.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna get into the comments real quick, y'all. My boy Carmen in here. He said, "What's good, fellas? Who that, man?
Who that, brother?
Yeah, what it do, Carmen?
Got that win?
Yes, sir.
Well, Jalen in here too. He said, "I'm back. LOL. Told y'all it'd be a high scoring game. I lost money betting on the Seahawks.
Yes, he did say he was gonna be up there. First team to 30."
But Carmen said Kyle Pitts almost single-handedly beat LSU in our chip season. The facts.
We were destined.
Thanks. Man, yeah, man. So the Bucks, man, they came through. They ended like it wasn't as a blowout as what we all was thinking, but well, me and you was pulling for the Falcons, Floyd. What Ken was thinking, but it ended up turning out to be 21-15.
Look, I'm with y'all. I'm with you, Dre. I would want the Falcons to win, but as a I had to be realistic. I knew what was gonna happen, even though the Falcons still had a chance, closer than what I actually thought it would be. They came out with the win. So I actually don't even know what my record was on my picks, to be honest. I ain't even keep track.
I can tell you right now, my brother, you was 4-5. Hey, I was filthy over here with 2-7, boy.
I think there was about 3 games that could have went my way.
Exactly. That was like
it was like some last second stuff, man.
That Baltimore Cincy. We gonna talk about it. I was sick.
We gonna get into that for sure. The next game, fellas, we had on the list was the Steelers and the Bills. And the Bills handled their business.
Oh my
man, I had a Steelers fan in the restaurant when he was watching the game. He talking stuff. His game on and our game on. He talking mad stuff to the Saints fans next to him, talking about, yeah, I told y'all. Boy, they start getting whooped. Boy, you ain't hear a peep, not a word from him. The rest of the
He's delusional. He's delusional.
I got my best friends, man. They probably tuned in right now. They are Steelers fans. I'm not gonna bash them completely, but they know.
Ugly 38-3.
Josh Allen is the juggernaut right now. He is nothing to be played with. He is slinging that ball on all cylinders, bro. Like I seen him make that throw out the end zone to Gabriel, man, up the field while getting hit. Hey, there go Jamal. What it do?
Hey, chill on my Steelers, bro.
Man. Josh Himothy Allen the third.
This game we don't need to be talking about. Hey, I love you, Ball. I promise, bro. I'm not gonna. Hey, on the plus side, man. Hey, George Pickens, he's starting to pick it up, man.
Hutchinson said, didn't I say the Bills would cover, though, man?
Yes, you did, and they doubled the spread or doubled what they were supposed to cover.
We talked about it last week, man. The Steelers, what they had going last year, TJ Watt, Minka, man, and you without TJ on that line, that's a huge difference, bro.
Too much.
I think you put TJ out there. I don't know if they win the game, but I don't think the score would have been if you had a weapon like that.
Yeah, you right.
Minka got snagged pretty nasty, but he was like, it was a great play. But even Minka still, I mean, he's doing what he can. He's fighting. That man is fighting. But like I said, that Steelers, they highly miss TJ, bro. TJ
big time. And some other key pieces as well. Yeah, they're thin, bro.
Hey, I don't sleep on Mike Tomlin, man. I know they struggling, but Mike Tomlin has not gone a season with a losing record.
That's what I was just about to say. They're going to somehow pull out 8 or 9 wins. I don't know how, but they're going to figure it out.
Much love to him.
Yeah.
The one-hander.
Carmen. Hey,
nasty.
Minka was smothering him. He wanted it more, bro. That's the life of a DB, right, Floyd? Hey, you get beat sometimes.
Yeah. Next play. Most important play. That's all you can say.
You come back
next play.
Flush that one down the drain.
Yeah, go ahead and let it go. Just let it go.
Buffalo didn't give Pittsburgh any chance
at all.
It wasn't a close game, pretty much at any point.
Hey, Pickett was out there scrapping too, man. One of the funniest things when that O lineman, he got his lick back and then he was in enemy territory, boy. He was in the wrong area, dog.
I respect it, but that's only gonna win you so many games. At some point, you just got to make plays. All that pushing and shoving and fighting and getting penalties ain't gonna do it.
It's not. It was the end of the game too.
Boy, Jalen here said Eagles undefeated. I'm just saying we're gonna touch on that game, Jalen. Hey, stay tuned, man.
Next week
on that.
Next week.
Hey, that was a close one too, though.
Hey, right? They about to take the L of them Cowboys.
I believe so.
Oh, that's a huge game, boy. Huge game that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's some big games this weekend too, y'all, man.
Make or break for a lot of teams.
Where that man Jamon at?
Yeah, where is he?
Where is Jamon at? Mr. Bradford, you come here now.
Yes, you pop here right now. Get in the comments
right now.
Man, the next game, y'all, we had was the Bears and the Vikings. Me and you, Floyd, took the Bears. Ken went with the Vikings, and he was right.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Me either. Me either, bro.
Kirk Cousins
told y'all,
played
boy.
better than he
Yeah.
played against the Saints against them, which I kind of predicted, but I figured they would win. The Chicago Bears would have more offensive prowess, being that it's no bad weather and none of that in their way.
But the score was
But
tight, bro. The
Yeah.
score was tight. It was 29-22. So it was pretty, neck to neck for the most part. Probably
those
one.
wide receivers made plays. They didn't give them any chance.
I told y'all, man, Vikings do play to their competition, and they did almost shoot themselves in the foot, like I was afraid of. I really picked them because I just had no confidence in the Bears. They played a good game. I mean, that's another game that really could have went y'all way because look how it ended. You got your wide receiver who ain't really reliable. He got the balls take out his hands in a crunch time situation. You can't do that. You're a professional wide receiver.
Yeah,
Been it.
Took the ball out your hands and then took it. Just walked away. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Fields showed some light. That man was fighting. Like he made some plays, kept them in the game. But again, that boy Justin Jefferson was
Too much.
Goodness.
LSU native.
Can't guard him.
I had to throw that out there.
11 catches, like 160 or something like that, and 80% that came from the first half. I was like,
That's what I'm about to say. He got going real early too, and it was too much for them to overcome. I thought their secondary will play a whole lot better or give them a better chance to stay in the game, not necessarily dominate, but it did not happen.
They had a great halftime adjustment. They did, they did have a good halftime adjustment. They got themselves back in the game.
That halftime do be huge, boy. You go to the halftime. Y'all remember we used to go in there, eat them oranges, shake.
Yep.
Back. They
have a whole new game.
Probably be punching the goddamn what's the name where we be writing all the plays at the little board.
Yeah, you get yelled at loud enough, it changes into a whole different game.
Hey, that's
Ramsey was out there telling your boys to get your dick out the dirt.
Shout out the Rams, man. I forgot about my dog. But yeah, man, that was a close one, but the Vikings end up pulling through. Ken, you got that one, man. You topped that one on that pick. Good pick, my boy. The next one we had, man, was the 49ers and the Panthers. And that game was not close.
No.
Yes, sir. I predicted they would score 30. And they won up me and went ahead and dropped 37 on the Panthers and got the coach fired.
I was about to say a lot of things changed. Baker hurt, coach fired, Mr. PJ Walker's up next. Like that game just sealed a lot of things in that organization, man. And I don't know, man. The 49ers, honestly, that's another team that they're getting hot right now. Like they just moving, man. Like that they've beaten good teams, they've beaten bad teams. Like they're stepping up in many ways, and they kind of always have the last couple of years been that type of team. If we're being realistic.
They can get a win or be in the game against any of the other 31 teams in the league.
I hate playing them. I actually fear them because I think that if they want to, that run game, that run scheme is so lethal, man, in the most creative way, man. But we gonna. I'm not surprised. I think I went with the 49ers because I just got no faith in them.
We all went with the 49ers, man. And I don't even know how we lost to the Panthers, man. Speaking of the Saints, man.
At this point, they lost 11 of their last 12. That one win that they snuck in
was us
against us. Terrible.
My boy Jalen is in here on them Eagles right now. He said, "What makes you say Cowboy?" Hey, we're gonna talk about it, bro.
I can tell you, sir. Mr. Jalen, I can tell you in a little bit.
As I was just about to say, don't sleep. I got some good notes on that matchup.
That's facts.
Don't sleep.
But we can talk about it right now. That's the game up. Eagles and the Cardinals, man. The Eagles pulled through. They still undefeated, 20-17. It was a close one. Cardinals had them on the ropes, but the Eagles would not go down. But like we said,
Cards, man.
Y'all. No, me and you picked the Cards, and Jay Floyd ran with the Eagles on that one.
Yeah, I know it's super hard to go 5-0 in the NFL. I don't care how good a team is. It's real easy to drop one, in a month of football. So the fact that they went 5-0 is impressive, or even 4-0 is impressive. But I felt like they would keep that train rolling against Arizona, just being that Arizona's missing their pieces. And with the momentum, they have an offensive room that's kind of questioning if that if that scheme is what's going to yield the most results for them. So there's a little bit of confusion going on in that. Whereas over in Philadelphia, everybody seems to have bought in. So I felt like that would get them the win. But with the division game coming up and somewhat of a trap game, being that you are undefeated and you kind of feel like all we have to do to win is tie our cleats. That's where I think they might, and it's hard to go 6-0. I don't see that happening for any of the teams this year. But yeah, I felt like they would get that win last week and kind of squeak it out the way that they did. It wasn't a blowout like I thought.
Nah, not at all, man. They, like I said, they had them boys. Cardinals had the Eagles on the ropes, man, and the Cowboys are a better team than the Cardinals. To be real with you, they just are.
Top to bottom.
Hey,
man, you got Pollard, but Pollard is not, boy. He is running that rock, like that boy is running that rock, man. So hey, that's huge, man. Who y'all feel like gonna come back as the quarterback for the Cowboys? I heard a lot of Dak Prescott coming back.
They slow. That would be just like starting Jameis Winston for us. They should go with Cooper Rush, what's got them their consecutive wins, and allow Dak Prescott, I apologize, to heal a little bit more. Even if he is 100% healthy, that doesn't necessarily mean he needs to be on the field. As far as rhythm goes, as far as practice days goes, he may have 2 or 3 under his belt this week, and I don't know if that's necessarily conducive to winning. But, they could win with either of those guys, I believe.
That's facts.
Hey, Cards cover the spread, though. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah, what? They only lost by 3?
Yeah, bro. Remember what I told y'all about 2 weeks ago before I hopped on here? Man, they are a sloppy team, man. Like, and if you look at the last minute, like Kyler spiking the ball on 3rd down, and now it's 4th down. Now you have to kick a field goal with like 30 seconds left. Like that's just like terrible. That's just sloppy to me. You don't do that. You either one, you got to be more aware, get the 1st down. You got more play. Now you can run more plays to get kind of closer. And then, of course, what does that lead to? A shank field goal to keep your team from going in the overtime. And, hey, Floyd, that's just that game, kind of how the Eagles finished that game. That's just a step closer to what you were saying, why they probably will drop this L next week against the Cowboys, because I think they are doing too much, man. I think they – getting a little fancy.
Trap game. Yeah. You see him showing up on social media a little bit more, and it's just a whole lot going on. It's not easy to go 6-0. My mom, she just texted me. She said Dak will be back next week. So I don't think that's good for Cowboy fans. I hope not. But she also said she's trying to comment, so I don't know. She'll be on Facebook Mob, but
I got a couple people saying the same thing. They don't let them comment. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, bro. It's a lot of variables in that game. I just don't see, with all those question marks, I don't see the undefeated team going 6-0.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be hard. I mean, Mike McCarthy said that they're gonna put their practice as if Cooper Rush will be starting. That's what he said this morning. I don't know.
Smart. Sounds like a smart man, and it sounds like Jerry Jones isn't in his ear, because I know Jerry is the one who's like, trying to keep that quarterback competition talk going, to sell more tickets and make more money, sell more Cooper Rush jerseys, all of this and that. But if they're smart, they'll keep doing you dance with the person who got you there.
That's it. That's how I feel, man. I don't think they should bench Rush right now. He's just too hot.
And I'm be honest, that last game, he didn't really do anything spectacular. I actually don't know if I don't even think he had barely over 100 yards.
No, that was a rushing. That was all.
He's managing the game. That's what I like. I like it, man.
That's all.
Don't do too much.
That's what the quarterback.
Don't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Let the defense make their plays.
Hear me out. But that would be my only reason why Dak he will start when he get back, because Dak wasn't a sloppy QB. Don't get me wrong. Like Dak, he wasn't known for turnovers. I remember at one point he had went on that streak of not, turning the ball over, but he's a pretty solid QB, but I think he could throw the ball better. I think he's got more confidence. Hopefully when he gets back, he's the starting QB. Like he's not going to lose his job.
Right.
Cooper Rush has something going, but I think that last game kind of answered my question on who will start whenever Dak gets back healthy. It's going to be
yeah.
I get he managed it, but that can lose you a game.
Yep.
Alex Smith, if we go way back, Alex Smith, that was his game. Alex Smith was not about to go out there and throw for 200 plus yards. Yep. He was just not going to throw a pick. But that lost them a game. That lost. Their receivers couldn't score. I think they went to see probably the only team in history to have a receiver not score a touchdown. It was some weird, crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now that's facts. They had the number one offense last year with Dak in all those games, so he does have that explosion factor that they don't have with Cooper Rush.
So I like it that you got to respect that you have a backup like that in case you get hurt. But then respectfully, you got to realize he's not the guy. Like he's not the number one guy. He's your relief pitcher. Like he's coming in.
Hey, squeeze him for as many wins as you can 100%. Squeeze out that man.
You got a good run game. Like Draye said, Tony Pollard is running that ball well. I'm not going to disrespect Zeke. Zeke is still like he's like that guy you want to take. You want to give the ball to at least 13 to 15 times.
Yeah.
Because this is a league where you don't have one back taking the full load, but having Tony Pollard come in there and just punching them in the mouth, that's a good 1-2 combo. So they got it going. Cool.
Mount Rushmore. I'm gonna start calling them that.
That's funny, actually. Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
Speaking on them Cowboys,
he said, I don't care. Eagles.
Speaking on them Cowboys, they end up pulling through too, man. They got that dub 22-10 against the Rams, and I didn't expect that to go that way, man. I pulled the Rams and win, and it went the other way because
I feel good about that pick. I said they were going to win by 9. The game started as a 9-0 deficit. At that point, I was feeling really, really good. LA started to do some good things with Cooper Kupp, almost called him Mount Rushmore. But that's all the LA Rams had. Literally, they had no answer for what for what the other team was trying to do on offense. It wasn't close.
There you go.
There he is. Hey, it was kind of crazy because when you have Aaron Donald and a guy who's making his 5th or 6th NFL start ever, you feel as though Donald is going to get the best of him, and that didn't happen.
Defense, period, bro. The Rams them boys got a defense, bro. That's what I was shocked how the Cowboys is just ripping them apart on that rushing, man. But at the same time, I keep saying it, man. That dude Pollard is different.
All of them. It looked like a Cowboys home game, and it was in LA.
It did, didn't it? I picked the Rams because I'm really just I think I'm just in denial. I'm baffled, bamboozled, like whatever word to choose on how bad the Rams are looking this year. I'm thinking like, okay, there's no way that they come back to back and get embarrassed on a game, on this game. The Sean McVay, there's no way. And what do? They come out, block punt, fumble, like QB sack, 3 and outs. Like, man, I don't know.
An interception, I believe.
Yes, like Matt Stafford is looking awful, like absolutely terrible.
And that O-line is not healthy at all. I think they have some third string guys in that guard.
They are switching.
A lot going on.
That's the wrong thing you need when you facing the Cowboys with a hot D-line right now. I will not hate on that.
Hey, they got home. Micah Parsons got there.
Carmen made a good point though, man. He said Rams O-line is doo-doo since
you're right.
Whitworth retired.
They just haven't been healthy. They haven't been able to start the guys that they're throwing money at, to replace that O-line that won the Super Bowl. A lot of them have gotten hurt and haven't been available.
Hey, they didn't have a good offseason to bring in the right guys they needed, if you ask me. And if you look at that game, the Rams defense did not play bad. Like if you really think about it, it's just that their offense put them in a terrible spot. There's only so much defense you could play. So I know last week I was talking about the defense and making plays and making tackles. Dude, they gave Matt Stafford every chance known to mankind to put them in that game, and they didn't get anything in return. I mean, I'm actually thankful that they scored at least one TD. I was just like, there's no way you don't get in the end zone. And
it was a home run ball too, on like a hitch route to Cooper Kupp that he took for like maybe 60 yards.
No, yeah, Cooper ran that thing, but
they really didn't get anything going on offense at all night.
It was 2 big plays that they were talking about. If you take those 2 big plays away, I think they had like absolutely close to no yards. I think they had some stuff in garbage time, which that's just NFL. Teams always do that. But I mean, I'm just disappointed, man. The Super Bowl team may not make the playoffs because that division is tough right now with your Niners. Your Niners is hot. Sure, the Seahawks is making noise even with what the world expected them to be just absolute garbage, and they're doing pretty well. So,
like I said, you got weird teams winning this year, bro, that we never expect. Like
it's a whole new league. Feels
dog
like
eat dog world, man. It's a weird one. We already said it. There's only like what you can count on one hand how many teams are looking kind of hard to beat.
Probably four teams are out of it right now, and that's it.
1.5 in the NFC. Let's be real. Like you got the Eagles, and then the 49ers. They show some things. Every other team they doing. I mean, the Cowboys is hot. I think that offense gonna shoot them in the foot if they don't. Honey, passing yours. Not gonna cut it, man.
Nah, man, I don't know about this comment right here, Sean. Boy, Rams versus Chiefs.
Whoa, the Rams will be happy to win a playoff game at this point. They'll be happy
about that one.
Chiefs. They got to get healthy.
They got to.
Kansas City would not surprise me seeing them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes, that boy put the team on his back when he needs to.
If the Rams win a playoff game this year, I'll be real surprised.
Yeah,
and they're a good team.
Yep.
If they make it, like Ken said, if they make it, so
boy, they get a win, man. They got the. Hey, if they lose to the Panthers, I promise you, man.
Cancel this. So I can't say too much because we lost to him, but we gotta see him again. Yeah, we gotta see the Panthers again.
Even in this situation, like they cannot lose that game.
Interim head coach and everything. Yeah,
they're about to go play some Pop Warner QB, man. Like you better not lose, man.
That's facts. And the next one, fellas, man, it was a close one on this one too, man. I watched this whole game down there, but the Bengals and the Ravens.
Me too. Watched the whole game, start to finish. I knew it was gonna come down to the fourth quarter too.
Yeah,
I picked the Bengals. I did. The Ravens once again. The Ravens are fighting some games, boy. Like they cannot. They're struggling to get it done, but I will say Lamar is in his bag to a certain extent. I know he didn't throw as well as he probably wanted to, but he still put his team in position for Justin Tucker to game him like usual. But man, there's a lot. The Bengals, no T. Higgins, they was smothering Jamar. Like they couldn't get going like they wanted to. Joe Mixon is actually he's struggling this year if you're being realistic.
Yeah, he is. That entire O-line.
He is struggling. He's not what is he having less than 3 yards a carry, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he's doing as much in the receiving like I know he's not a big receiver, but usually a little more impactful, man. So
I can tell you one thing though, man. They was getting the Burrow. Like, I mean, of course, like every other team, but they was getting the Burrow, bro. Like Burrow couldn't get comfortable, and Chase couldn't get comfortable either, boy.
Marlon Humphrey.
Hey, he had respect
this week.
He had him
playmaker,
man. Clamp.
They had a good scheme on Jamar. Like they were not, and it wasn't like he was on an island. There's someone shading over him every time. They basically
yeah. Right? They were throwing different looks at them back there.
They told the Bengals either Tyler Boyd got to make a play, Hayden Hurst got to make a play, but it will not be Jamar. So
yeah. And that's what I was saying. The difference in this game, it felt like where both of the defenses, anytime you hold Lamar Jackson under 20 points, you feel like you should have got out of there with a win. So it feels like a game that Cincinnati more so lost than Baltimore went out there and won. They scored their 19th point with 0 seconds left on the clock. And that's saying something. They had 16 through 47 minutes of football, or no, 60 minutes of football. Yeah. Which is really impressive for that Cincinnati defense and a little bit scary for us New Orleans Saints, forecasting to us having to see them 12 o'clock Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon.
Speaking on that,
they're going to play a brand of football that's going to be physical and fast on defense, and we're going to need guys like Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara to make plays to counteract that, or else we might see ourselves scoring less than 19. Yep. And I don't know if we could win a game against them scoring less than 19.
Eli Apple was burnt toast. I just want to clear that up because it was 2 that Lamar missed, bro. 2 passes overthrew. I'm talking about burnt toast.
True. He think he was a superstar.
No, sir. Terrible.
Look,
Yo.
man. Hey, the Bengals got a nice little pass rush on them too. They was in Lamar's face, but you can't bring Lamar down like any other QB. The man is just elite when it comes to getting out that pocket.
Yeah, Cincinnati could not have played any better. And I felt like another difference in this game was Cincinnati scored too soon. They scored on second down. They tried to score on first down. In my opinion, you bleed that. Either you take those timeouts away or you kneel at the goal line and then kneel at the goal line again and then try to pound it in on third. And if you don't make it, pound it in on fourth rather than the QB sneak on second down, which left, I think, a minute and 27 seconds or something like that. I felt like that was way too much time when you have a league MVP on the other side of the field.
You know what I'm seeing a lot more in these games, and it happened in this game we're talking about now, is teams not taking those 3 points, man. I know they talk about analytics and this, and that, but when you look at it, it's kind of coming back to bite them in the butt. Like, look how the Bengals went for it in the red zone, and when they could have took 3 points and lived to fight another day, but they didn't, and eventually it came back to bite them on.
Yeah, they sure did. Yep.
And we've seen it happen in many games. It's happened with the Raiders. The Raiders did the same thing. I think the Chiefs even did. Like, I'm seeing it a lot more. And I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I'm dumb or whatever. But
we old school. That's all it is, bro.
I'm trying to figure out, is it you think you're trusting your defense that much? Is it you're putting too much trust into the opponent's offense? Like, you don't think that, you can stop them or something? Like, why not take these points and let your defense play ball?
Especially with the amount of time that be left on the clock. It'd be like 6 minutes left in the game, 7 minutes, 4 minutes left in the game. It was earlier than that in the case of Cincinnati, what you're talking about, but I know exactly what you mean, bro. Yeah, I'm old school. And
maybe
take them points and try to do the same thing next time.
You can't in a game like this where it's low scoring. It's not like it's a shootout. I could get it if it's a shootout. So in the Raiders-Chargers game, our Chiefs game, I get it. You got throwing that ball, everyone's scoring. But in a game like this where it's hard knock and the game is kind of slow, you can't do that. Zach Taylor, what are you doing?
Every point matters. Yep. And every first down, every down matters.
You got a QB who
game of inches.
Your QB can't get out the pocket. Your QB doesn't have more than 2 seconds to throw the ball. Your running back is getting stuck.
Run game ain't it. Run game ain't there. Yep. Joe Mixon not getting there.
Our receiver that is really good, almost good enough to be a number one sometimes, is out. So they're freaking doubling your number one. You have no business going for this right now.
Take the points.
Hopefully you do that against us next week. But why do that?
Hopefully they score 17 against us next week.
Man, as long as we touch 20, we'll be straight, huh, Floyd?
Hopefully. Shoot, I think it's gonna take a little bit more than that.
What I'm saying, look, they do rely on they run the ball. I know they like to pass, but they do like to get Joe Mixon the ball. We stuff Joe Mixon. And it's kind of like a Seahawks scenario where we kind of hold the run game down to that one broken play where he finally broke. But you slow the run game down, then now let's make them sling the ball and let's let our pass rush do what they do. Because that O-line is terrible. And if that O-line is that bad, then your man's Cam Jordan is about to eat.
Thanks. And speaking on them Raiders and them Chiefs, man, that's the last pick we had. And the Chiefs pulled through 30-29. Man, that was close.
We out here pushing everything.
Shouldn't have been that close. That's so true.
Yeah, I went with the Chiefs. Ken, you went with the Raiders. Floyd, I didn't catch who you went with on that last game, bro.
I believe Kansas City.
Okay, I was wondering.
I did go with Kansas City.
Because I said the last time I went against Mahomes.
You went with
lit it up. Wasn't gonna do it this week.
Hey, I thought the Raiders like I said, this is one of the games, Jay, where when the games could have went either way. Some of these, like my 5 L's, they were about a point away from being
that's it.
Right?
Cincinnati, Las Vegas.
Dude.
That's it.
The Raiders look good out the gate. Their defense was popping. And
boy, what's his name was pissed, huh? Adams, boy. I see him pushing the cameraman at the end of the game.
There was a lot going on. A whole lot of animosity in that game. Division game, so I guess it happens.
I was watching the Stephon Diggs and Von Miller podcast today, and Diggs was kind of breaking it down, and I think I was thinking the similar thing though. But it looks like Draye, Devontae Adams was running a post route, and Hunter Renfrow was supposed to have something underneath. Now Diggs was mentioning that Devontae took an inside release of some sort. So it kind of, I think he said either Devontae was supposed to take an outside release, or Renfrow ran his route a little too deep. So he said they were pissing in the same Coke bottle. Is how he worded it. And so
and that ain't good, man. You know,
he brought his defender over there.
Exactly. I think it was Renfrow running his route a little too deep, because it's not a Devontae thing. We know like we mentioned. I mentioned before. I think he's number one wide receiver in the league right now. The boys, and they had. If you look at that, they had nobody to help that corner if he was throwing that post route. So Devontae might have gamed them if he didn't trip, and I think that's why he was so upset.
Well, Carmen.
Yeah, that must be a contract obligation or something, boy, out there in Las Vegas. You got to get a charge.
Hey, hear me out, man. Because I like to play devil's advocate, man. It ain't my man's fault. If you look, the camera dude ran, like he literally ran right in front of him. From the side
boy, had the camera in his face like this, boy.
Yeah, like, from the side view, it actually looked bad. I was like, dang, Devontae, you didn't have to do that. But when you look at it from like behind him and he walking in the tunnel, you see the dude kind of like surprise him, and he just like reacted, pushed him, bro. And like
he probably thought it was a common fan, or someone not necessarily out there doing a job for the NFL and for the team. But when you are getting somebody off of you, he didn't necessarily have to get somebody off of him at that point.
Release.
He got something.
He's trying to get out the line.
Staying sharp.
You got to get out the line. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
But I will say I don't believe it should have been anything, in my opinion, and I don't know the law, but something that should have been charged, even as a misdemeanor.
Everybody trying to get this, dog. Everybody.
Didn't seem criminal.
The dude, once that happened, all that dude was saying, I'm going to sue this guy. Like, everyone trying to get this, man. And I feel like Devontae, he been in the league a while. We know the dude. He's not that type of, I don't know personally, obviously, but he never, came off like that. Like, those never were the vibes that we got.
Right. Not a malicious, it didn't seem malicious.
He balled. And like I said, that's just an unfortunate situation. He shouldn't have, maybe he didn't have to do the whole push thing. I do think it looks worse than what it actually was. That's me. Should have snuck him. and all the memes, buddy went up to the police station holding his neck like
everything, something, man. For real. He got right back up and somehow ended up being charged.
Whoever his lawyer was, they just trying to get a paycheck, dog. Something. They want money.
A settlement. Yep. Settlement grab.
We'll try to get. Oh, this is the number one wide receiver league. Let me go get some bread. He probably is going to do a little something.
It'll end in a settlement. It won't go to civil.
Yeah, just to get it over with.
Like every other case be going with the settlements.
Yep, I guess
every other one. But yeah, man, that was our Breesy Picks, y'all. Like I said, I went 2-7, Ken 4-5, and Floyd 6-3. So hey,
I felt like there was about 3 losses, and again, one of them was Cincinnati. They had a chance to win the game at the end. Didn't play well enough on offense, but and everybody who watching, man, if y'all got y'all picks, when we do it on Sunday, man, drop them in the comments, send a DM to either one of us, man. We'll lock y'all in. We'll talk about y'all picks too, man. Hopefully y'all can go 9-0 too. Yes, indeed. Comment or DM.
Let's see who really out here making the great picks, man. Let's see.
That's it. But let's talk about the real game. Y'all know what's up, man. The Saints dub over the Seahawks. My boy Ken got the man on his chest right now.
The Taysom Hill show. Yeah, that wasn't the Saints game. That was the Taysom Hill show.
That's it.
NAK. The Taysom NAK show.
I told y'all, we said it. I knew they was gonna get this win. I don't know if my guy Guru in the chat or watching the stream, he's a Seahawks fan. I was on his heels talking big stuff just because, what I'm saying, we beat up on him. But hey, W's, man.
Yeah, man. We ate another one, bro. We changed some things. Well, really 2 big things, one on offense and one on defense. and it made everything that we've been trying to do all year work
AK.
out. We got home. Cameron Jordan had his best game of the season, and I felt like it was because of a defensive switch that we made to commit to the 4-3 defense and have 3 linebackers on the field. Once Rashad Penny got hurt, we kind of abandoned that and went to the nickel, and that's when you started to see them score some points with Paulson Adebo and Roby sharing that nickel role, and neither one of them played well at all. But when we were in that 4-3, which was the initial game plan, we were shutting them down and getting sacks.
Lattimore was solid, boy. Lattimore was all over DK, man. And I think Ken on YouTube, Floyd, y'all called it, bro. Y'all said man, he be doing better against the big body receivers. And
yeah,
bro,
he had a good game, but DK unfortunately also had a really good game, and that's because Marshawn Lattimore didn't travel with him.
And he
cooked Paulson Adebo.
Yeah, it was
cooked him every time he lined up across.
Not just, but it really wasn't DK. It was Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett got off as well.
Lockett got a bomb over 3 of our defenders. I don't know who all 3 was back there, but man, I'm talking about a bomb, and that was credit on Gino.
29 was there. All of their first 3 touchdowns. 29.
It was just him jumping in the air, trying to swat the ball. He already beat. So it's just him jumping in there.
Looks like he was limping, couldn't run or something.
I think he got routed up. That's a good receiver. I'll give him his credit. I do want to kind of going back to DK. He didn't have the game that probably most expected from him. I mean, I knew that when Lattimore faces him, that it usually is a nice physical battle. He slows him down. But DK kind of, if you think about it, kind of lost him that game, man. He with that huge fumble, really close fumble. He can go either way.
Pete Warner.
The drop TD, man, like he didn't have the game he was supposed to. Tyler Lockett stepped up. Our backside DBs, man, did not play up to par, if you ask me. Our D line is what really saved us. Pete Warner saving us. DeMario Davis, like that box really saved us. In reality, because I mean, for us to give up that many points, our secondary was kind of killing us to an extent, right? We got to make things. I don't know. Got to get it together. I know we're not healthy. I seen a couple safeties back there that's not usually in that spot.
Yeah. 19 had some plays back there. It was a little weird. We went to dime a few times where there were 6 DBs on the field after Rashad Penny got hurt, and that was strange. That was a strange adjustment to me because I didn't feel like they were drawing up plays to go vertically down the field. If they were making down the field throws, a lot of them were posts, outs, crossing routes, things of that nature. So that didn't seem like a good idea for me. But like you said, Pete Warner punched out that fumble, and he was a guy who we asked Pete Warner, Zach Bond, number 53, and number 55, whose name is eluding me right now. We asked those guys to line up against wide receivers, and whoever was furthest inside and make plays, which I thought was impressive and something we haven't done all season. So those were 3 linebackers who we asked to guard wide receivers or guys who we didn't feel were deep threats. And they did a really good job, and I think won us the game. We went way more zone than we've been going all year. But that defense, like you said,
they tight ends at it. I'm respecting Gino more and more every game. I actually shouted him out on my Twitter page just because I'm like, hey, Gino is slinging that ball. Those are some impressive TDs he threw. I'm talking threading the needle over. Those are some dots. Like you throw that any more under, any more over, he's not making that play. That was only respect to Gino. He's doing his thing. He's got some confidence right now, even though he took a couple L's. He's kind of rolling. But those tight ends, they was using the heck out of Will Dissly and Noah Fant, man.
And Noah Fant, I knew it was going to happen. Play action, bootleg, tight end all day.
You called that, Floyd, on that play action. And that first dot, man, was off of play action, and boy rolled out. I'm thinking he about to get sacked. He dumped it off over the top, man. he was throwing some dots, man.
He's making really good decisions. I saw there was a on Football Index that came out a quarterback ranking, and Geno Smith was 8th right now. So he's outplaying a lot of the guys that are getting paid the big
throwing
bucks.
the ball. He's making the right reads. He's not turning the ball over necessarily. I just think that we were fortunate that in Cam Jordan we trust. He made some really big sacks to take away from some of those big plays and make it hard. Big third down conversions that they couldn't convert,
Exactly. Both of his sacks were on third down, and he had a stuff on third down that ended another drive on the run. That was crucial. I mean, they were driving and probably going to get points.
Hey, but most importantly, man, I'm just finally glad that we put points on the board in every quarter, if I'm not mistaken, for once.
Thanks to that, man. Thanks to 7. Hey, you got him on right now.
Hey, I'm going to give 7 credit where it's due. Because he turned up in that second half, but let's not Mr. AK himself. I know he turned the ball over in a terrible
and he made up. He made up.
I think he had 100+ all-purpose yards, man. Real quiet.
194, something like that.
I know he didn't touch the end zone. He was running the ball well. Made some really good plays after the catch, some good catches. Like, we needed him. Like, that's what we need. He is our best offensive weapon. I hate to, no offense to Mike Thomas, but he's just not doing nothing for us right now. But AK is our best offensive weapon, and when he's on the field, that's a whole lot of offense that we can run.
Yeah,
that offense looked so impressive. And if you notice, like you said, Kamara carried the load and was continuing drives. So on those third downs that we needed, second and long, some of them we got into 2nd and 16 after holding penalties, and he would go get a first down out of those. So Alvin Kamara's first, I think, 7 touches. I think he had 3 first downs out of those. And Taysom Hill's first 6 touches were 2 first downs and I think 2 touchdowns. So that sort of production in a microcosm, in a small window of football, did wonders for our momentum.
And
it almost won us the game.
Check this stat. While you holding that jersey up, Ken, check this stat. AK had 23 attempts, bro, 103 yards. Taysom Hill had 9 attempts, 112 yards.
God bless America.
That's wow, bro.
Hey.
Like, wow.
Taysom Hill with 2 pullers coming on that quarterback wrap, it's over with. Guaranteed first down.
Longest was that 60-yarder that won that game.
I'm going to show my guys, I know they'll never, if they ever even see this, I'm going to show these boys love. Our offensive line is a really good run blocking O-line.
Yeah, they are.
If there's one thing that, we've developed in the last 3-4 years is a running, we turned from a really heavy pass.
Had 10 hats on 10 hats. And like Floyd said, I want to say you posted or something on Facebook, bro.
Yeah.
All you have is one man to beat.
Yep.
10 on 10, one man to beat. You beat him, man.
And he has the speed and the skill to do it. Taysom Hill, man, is special.
If he would have had a little, I want to say, if they would have been back about 10 more yards, he probably would have got caught.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he said
Tariq Woolen, man, that caught him on that, or caught him to kind of try to strip the ball out. That he ran the fastest 40 in the combine. I think he ran like a 4.2 something.
Wow.
You can fact check.
He can go, yeah. So that means Taysom was rolling.
He's got 3 picks on the season. I think that's the Seahawks' only interception is by Tariq Woolen, man. He's a nice little rookie, got some skill, but you see. I think he had the 3rd fastest, 200 or the little miles per hour.
Floating.
Yeah, he was moving, man. But
Taysom
Hill, just fast enough to get in that end zone.
Yeah, and you know what? They blocked so well, like Draye was saying. They almost, I don't want to say make it easy on them because it's not easy to go 60-something yards regardless. But when you only have to make one player miss because the guy getting that direct snap, is that athletic and athletic enough to get all the way down that field, it makes it so much easier to block because he's gone in a flash. So all we got to do is get a hat on the hat, and he's gonna get by us, into that 2nd and 3rd level.
Hey, even if you're not getting the 60 yards, 50-yard touchdowns, you know how hard it is to stop a team that can get 4 yards of carry.
There you go.
If you do obviously do the math, every 4 yards, boom, but you get a first down, right? So it's hard. So our O line, those gaps that he had, those holes that he had, that I think his last touchdown to seal it, the way that hole opened up for him and the correct blocks, you could fill it up even better. Like that's our team. That's how we adjust. We're a winning team. We can't.
I watched that play over and over and over again,
That's
and
football.
man, that was beautiful, bro.
That's football.
Like, he just dropped the gauntlet on him, man. Like you couldn't have made that any better. I'm happy for him. I'm glad like we still are using like that. Dennis is still using him in that way, and that's
true because his third touch, I believe, was a fumble. And I've seen plays or games where he'll have a play or two and then fumble or a mistake, and then we kind of go away from that.
I mean, if we want to transition, we talk about the good, we transition to the bad. And those turnovers, they have to stop. Like those,
we still lead the league.
We gotta chill. We lead the league. I mean, I actually didn't realize it that us and the Seahawks were leading the leagues in penalties. We both were up there. I think we were like 1 and 2.
Yep. So we had 2 turnovers that game, fellas.
That's just not us. All fumbles. I think we ended up getting one. I can't remember correctly. I don't know if Andy had fumbled that game or not. But the turnover.
He threw an interception somewhat to start the second half.
He did. To Woolen. You're right.
But I think we might have got the fumble on the next possession after that. Or it was the possession before that, something like that.
We got to
evened out. Yeah.
We got to do better, man. There's no way, we're going to struggle to win games if we keep turning the balls over.
Bro, we cannot turn that ball over with this schedule looking how it's looking coming up, man. I'll tell y'all that right now, bro, because we got Bengals, Cardinals, Raiders, Ravens. Like, still got the Rams up there, 49ers. Like, we still got a schedule, bro. Like, so it ain't nothing easy on the schedule. Like, all them games ain't nothing easy. We cannot turn that ball over, especially not to Joe Burrow this weekend.
No, man. No, we can't give them anything. You saw they held Baltimore to 19. So any help that we give them as far as our offense not being productive, it's going to make it so much harder. They do have an explosive offense, but as Kendric, brought up, I don't think they're going to run the football on us very well. They have like a zone scheme. So Joe Mixon is trying to get up in between the creases and cut back sort of. And we have Pete Warner, who does a good job of anchoring the outside. The other linebackers who kind of switch out. Bond also do the same thing. So it's not it's not as good as productive against a 4-3 defense like we run as it is against a 3-4 like Baltimore ran last week, even though they were able to kind of shut it down. So I think we have some positives and some things that we could do well against Cincinnati. But like y'all said, we cannot give them any help and turn that football over.
Nah, we can't, man. And we got some big players that did not practice, you know what I'm saying, today, man. We got Hardy didn't practice, Landry didn't practice, Michael Thomas, Lattimore, Peyton Turner, and then, of course, Chris Olave with the concussion. So
some big players that did practice too. We got Jameis out there, and I don't know if we should quite jump the gun on that.
And that's all.
Let him get his practice
I was gonna get to that, bro. What?
Get the Rocket back out there, man.
Okay, so y'all feel like we should keep Andy? Like, how y'all? Okay,
hear me out.
Yes,
hear me out.
What's up,
dance with the quarterback that brought you.
Hear me out, Draye. Hear me out.
What's up, man?
Man, look. We gotta let our boy get back on the field, man.
Winston,
too soon.
We gotta let now it gotta be now.
But I'm about to say, because this game, I feel like Red Rifle, bro, Andy Dalton, man, like Sean Hutchinson, he commented or he told me earlier when I talked to the phone, he said, if anybody know the Bengals, Andy Dalton know the Bengals. Like how they they system. Yeah. That was a good point, bro, because he played with them for 8-9 years. A lot probably changed since he played with him, but he still know that system, bro.
Yeah.
So that could be. It don't have to be this game, but we got to get Jameis on the field. We got to see what he can do. If he's actually healthy, he's good. Let's see what he do under that, because he played some tough games, hurt, and
they was all division games.
Yeah, it was some hard games, and I mean his injuries aren't like blow away injuries. Like I would assume if your back is fractured, then it's hard to kind of maneuver in a
that's the thing.
game.
Like, how much can you have healed in
Yeah.
that short amount
Oh,
of
of course.
time?
And I'm saying, let him heal. If he's 100%, I want to see what he's capable of. I want to see if he can be a little more comfortable. Maybe seeing Andy get a dub and seeing Andy play pretty
here and
solid,
there. Inspired him. Yeah.
It could push him. You have battles like this, it could push him. You never know. I don't know. I do like the fact that with Andy, he made quicker plays. Like there was a play where he should have got sacked and he flipped the ball. I forgot who he flipped it to, but those, he could get the ball out of his hands. He's not fast, he's not shifty, but he's gonna try to get that ball out of his hands. He's gonna trust his receivers and make plays. Like I feel like he's throwing more passes on the breaks, right?
I say we rotate all of them, bro. We rotate Andy, Jameis, like how Sean Payton had Winston and Drew doing it, and then mix in Lil Taysom.
That's too creative, but I like where you're going because
I say we do it, man.
The 2 games we've won have been the games where we called the play call the most creatively, which was against Atlanta and last week against Seattle. That's a little too creative, but I like where you're going with it. I like it.
With that,
I don't know, but I like it.
My only con with that is rhythm. You take a QB out of the rhythm, they got to come back in and get back into it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It's like,
and Drew was a legend, so he
say
knew
let the starter rock out and play the whole game. But like Kendric, I think you're trying to say we can only win some games with Andy Dalton. But I feel like our championship window or championship prospects are best with Jameis Winston. So he does have to get back out there and rocking if we want to contend for an NFC championship, division championship, or a Super Bowl.
Carmen speaking on Trey Henderson getting the Jameis. And hey, Trey, man, boy, I miss him. Cause when I watched him against the Ravens, he was on everything, bro. Like he always in the play. He always in the mix.
Him and Hubbard was screaming in his face. The pass rush is doing their thing, man.
Just now that you're mentioning that, it's so hard to watch former Saints like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Von Bell, who's out there making plays right now. I wish he was still in black and gold. And like you said, Trey Hendrickson and so many more.
Then you got them
this year
boys,
former Saints in previous years.
The only thing that scared me, man, I'm scared about that Marshawn Lattimore injury, bro. Because like I said, we already hurting the DBs and stuff from cornerbacks, man. So that's the only thing that kind of scared me. But they got Higgs out too, so I guess that makes up for it, balance it out.
There's a lot going on both sides. Yeah, we both dealing with a lot.
Our list is long. Hey, I don't know if y'all peeped. We did make a nice little sign. Mr. Jordan Howard, bro, who is a really solid, reliable back. I mean, I think he was just coming off for season where he had like 87 carries, averaging like 4+ yards a carry. So that's nice to see that we kind of got an emergency back in case things aren't going too well.
Yeah, we needed that to replace Latavius Murray, and Mark Ingram didn't play exceptionally
well. Mark didn't play good at all, bro.
Week, so they need some answers back there.
I ain't seen Mark Ingram ball since like week 3 or 2, man. Like I'm being serious, bro. I need Mark Ingram to get the rock, man.
Mark Ingram, he's good for the soul on our team. Like he's good. I think he's a saint for like he's a saint.
Locker room guy at this point.
I mean, you could kind of tell that his career is hardly declining. Like he don't got much left. Like plays where I think he would have got an extra 2 yards. He don't get that anymore. He's kind of going down. That's why I'm kind of glad they signed someone like Jordan Howard, because I think Jordan Howard might have a little more juice in the tank to make more plays. I love that we had Latavius Murray, and I'm sick that we had watched him go literally after he had a good game with us.
Literally
activate him and just let him ride.
But we'll see, man. I love Mark Ingram, bro. I really do.
I love him, man. I love him too. I want to.
I don't think he's. Man. For how good our O-line blocks and how little that he kind of produces this year, it is a little disappointing because you get other people in there. AK, you get Taysom, and even Latavius Murray. Like they all were making the most of that. And then you get Mark Ingram, and I feel like it's holding us back because those, like, he's getting 1 yard, 2 yards, getting stuff at the line. You can't cut like you want to.
The burst is not there.
I don't. And maybe he changes. Who knows? But I don't know. It's and you're right. He hasn't been playing, like he should. I mean, even on the goal line, I don't. To me, I don't know, man.
But didn't he have like around the same touches as AK though?
He might have. He ran the.
I want to say
they pretty much split the carries. Dwayne Washington might have got 2 or 3 touches,
but at the same time,
he had a really big lead block in the goal line down there. So, but yeah, I like that we got that running back room a little bit of help.
Yeah, that's
because it seemed like it was a two horse race at last week.
It ain't the same AK and the boom and zoom that we had in 18. That's
2 years ago, or 3 years ago. No, it ain't.
I think Mark Ingram is better in the pass protection than AK. We do have to keep.
Oh yeah, people they be bullying AK. I'm seeing them dudes come through and just move AK and get right to the.
It's hard to get a running back. It's hard to get a running back that wants to block like that. Yeah. I think Mark Ingram, he liked the contact. He's a little more aggressive. So, I believe that's one of his bigger reasons why he touches the ball as much, or he's in a lot, in a decent amount on some pass game, is his ability to chip, his ability to block in case things, blitzes or the pressure's getting a little hot for Andy or Jameis or Taysom, whatever. So you gotta keep that in consideration. He's good at other things than maybe running the ball.
So. Yeah, exactly. Now, two points I kind of want to talk about, and I'm really eager to see the stat line. But Chris Olave played like a number one last week until he got hurt. He proved to us, and we kind of talked about him having to be the guy with Michael Thomas dealing with injury and with Jarvis Landry being out. Yeah. We knew he was going to have a big game this week, and for us to have a chance to win. And he got in the end zone and did a good job. We also talked about how the run game was going to have to be dominant, and almost if our run game overpowered Seattle's run game against our defense, we will win the game. And I think we had 14 rushing first downs, not including the touchdowns that we scored on the ground. So that's saying a lot. That's 17 or something like that plays where we almost didn't get tackled, and they weren't able to bring us down. Until it was, we got to the yard to gain and down the field to the third level. So that's super encouraging. If we can rush for 14 weeks next week, again, 14 first downs next week against the Bengals, we'll be looking really, really pretty. And I think we doubled the amount of plays offensively that Seattle ran, which is saying a whole lot.
Right. Seattle had 49 and we had 74.
See, it's hard to lose a game like that, and they still almost scored as much as we did in that short amount of plays they ran. So that's saying something.
It was those bombs, man. They killed us over the top with a lot of plays, which I wish we had more plays like that, right? But they can't. They did it. They got the speed. They had the receivers to get behind our DBs, and that's a big part of it right there.
It is. I feel like we're gonna be all right. It's just, I want Lattimore in the game, dog. When you got Lattimore in the game, he just takes one of them receivers completely out, like a Jamar Chase, or you could depend on it. Let's put it like that.
Right, you gotta remember, Lattimore. That's been our best corner that we've had in the decade, right? Like our best corner, if you want to be realistic, right? We drafted him. He's come in and he has produced for us, and especially our team and our history when it came to terrible DBs, right? Yeah. We had the worst DBs. Like our DBs were always going to be the one to give up a game-winning touchdown, and we finally got a corner. That's why I think our organization loves Marshawn Lattimore. Like we love Marshawn. Marshawn does no wrong. That's how much we love him.
Yeah, he makes the defense right in some of those plays where they'll make a mistake or blow a coverage. He can, shorten up the explosivity of the other team because they like we said, they had 9 yards per play or something last week, which is a whole lot. That's a lot per snap. I think it was 9.1, maybe 8.1, something like that. So the fact that we have him on their big play guy shortened up a lot of their what could have been a whole lot more explosive plays. DK Metcalf, I think he had 90 yards, and he also had about a 50 or 40-yard touchdown called back on a penalty.
Hey,
And he had a catch that was called for offensive pass interference where he pushed Marshawn Lattimore off. But if some of those go the other way, it almost could have been a 200-yard day.
Hey, I'm calling it right now.
And 2 touchdowns for that boy. So
just I'm kind of going a little off subject, but just how Joe Burrow threw that pick to Patrick Queen against the Ravens, I feel like this man right here is gonna goddamn have a big game, bro. I feel like Burrow gonna at least give him one, bro. Burrow gonna give him one. Mark my word, bro. I'm telling y'all.
If we're getting
Carmen,
home,
bro, I finally got the jersey, man. I had to flash it on the screen.
Yeah, been waiting on that for weeks, huh?
What months?
Months, man.
If Cam Jordan gets home 3 times like he did last week, and you don't even have to all be sacks, it could be as he's throwing the ball. 100%, we'll get a pick or 2.
Yeah. We'll force him to make
Cam, like you said, Cam getting back there and getting Burrow face.
Thanks. You know what killed us though? Just watching that scheme, man. We are getting murdered on crossing routes, man.
Every time, bro.
We're getting dogged in nickel and dime, which is weird to me. Anytime you see nickel out there, I'm like, yo, chunk plays. They'll run the ball on us because we are in nickel and a little bit spread a little bit wider. Or they've been getting, like you said, crossing routes to the slot guy or the tight end. So it is a little concerning anytime we have an extra number of DBs out there.
That's going from
something's
one
not
side
right
to the next. Excuse me. Tyler Lockett, those big TDs, they were all post routes coming from one side to the
across the football.
Yeah, across the field, bro.
This league, big deep routes, big deep corner or drag, or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Oh, fine. Hey. Noah Fant, same thing. Like we were getting killed, DK. I mean, DK is not a huge route runner. It's either vertical or it's
exactly something under.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We gotta. I don't know. They gotta figure that out. And I know what hurts us and what plays a big factor is that long list of people that we're missing on the field, or the long list of people that are not healthy.
If we that's what's crazy, bro. Because if we had our whole team healthy. Bruh, and it ain't been like that for years.
Exactly.
Not
this early. No, not this early.
I know it's football. And I know injuries happen every team we place. But every time I tend to look at a injury list, it's like there's ours and then there's theirs. Like
every time
we be 8 deep out there in the wheelchair crew. 8-9 deep every week.
We don't have Mike Thomas. Okay, cool. But then when you got, you don't have Mike Thomas, you don't have Chris Olave, you don't got AK, you don't got quarterback.
Trevor Penning, Andrews Pete.
It sucks, man. Andrews Pete was back, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he played last week, but I think he's been on the list.
You clearly see that he made a big difference on the line.
Oh yeah, Pete been balling.
Yeah,
and like you said, on those crossers, I think they saw what Minnesota did to us and put on film last week. They said we got them. That's our game plan. Because they look the exact same.
They seeing the discipline. They seeing what's going to reel you in. We got such a run defense heavy, personnel. So it's probably like real easy to get us to fall for that. Yeah, real easy.
But we're learning our linebackers can cover. Like on the preseason game, I was like, I'm nervous. We got Pete Warner out there. I don't know if he can guard. Man, he can cover.
Hey, I think
he done proved me to be big cap at this point. He can play.
He wearing number 20. He out there playing like a DB.
Almost like a DB on some plays. I'm like, this dude is fast.
I just love how he's playing. I think it's similar to how Trey Hendrickson was. He kind of boom. He started growing. He started playing at a high level. Pete Warner is going to be at that high level, man, and hopefully we can keep him. Because he's gonna be that impact that Demario Davis was since we signed him, right? But Pete is going crazy, dog. He's
anchoring the defense at this point.
Doing his thing. He's making these plays. He's everywhere on the field. You don't ever not see him in a play, right? Either cleaning up a tackle, making the stop, saving the third down conversion. I love seeing that. That's huge.
Yep.
Keep that up.
He does a good job of so DeMario flies in, which he wasn't doing week 1 and week 2, but he's been flying downhill, and I think it's because he knows he can trust Pete Warner is gonna set the edge on those plays where the running back is like an inside dive and then he bounces.
Yeah.
20 is there 100% of the time. And I don't think we knew that we were going to have that. And now that DeMario Davis does, both of those guys are making plays.
Gotta respect them Ohio State boys, man. They know they can.
Hey, and the Saints love some Ohio State boys. I'll tell you that.
Don't we?
Hopefully we grab some more.
I'll tell you that.
Dude, they got some receivers over there that I'm liking.
I like that quarterback over there.
Oh, I'm already knowing Mr. CJ.
We got to tank if we want Stroud.
We're gonna need our
we don't want to tank. He's gonna be a top 5 pick.
Yeah,
definitely. Year though, until we can draft him. So
next year, next draft.
We got our pick next year. Oh man, that was a game though.
What y'all feel about the receiver core though? Now that Olave went down, then we still got Jarvis and MP out. So how y'all feel about that?
I think he'll play. I think he'll play.
Hey, when Olave was out though, we used the hell out of Taysom. That's when he started to blow up. We AK Taysom and occasionally some conservative pass plays that we ran, but AK and Taysom, that's who we're gonna lean on when with all of our receivers hurting like that.
I feel like Callaway though. I love Callaway, bro.
Yeah, but Callaway, he's a good. Who can't say he's not a number one?
No, he ain't number one.
He's made plays, but he and Traquan Smith, at this point, they probably together have about double-digit drops. I would say they probably have 10 drops combined over the season. And I mean blatant drops. Yeah. Some that could have helped Andy Dalton out last week would have been first downs. Nobody around. Yeah. So that's going to kind of bite us in the back if we can't get that run game going, like Kendric was saying.
Yeah, Traquan had a tough one. He had to stretch out for it, and his body hit the ground, and the ball popped out, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're not those type of wide receivers, man. So it's gonna be hard. We need some of them back. I don't even think Landry is like that guy because he's kind of like veteran, really smart, good route runner.
Yeah,
he doesn't have it in him to blow the top off the defense anymore, but he is really smart to know where to go on the field and get open, and he can make that catch, right? So hopefully somebody come back. That concussion was real scary, man. That man Olave hit the ground,
and I knew it as soon as he hit the ground.
His whole
he's asleep. That's exactly what I said. He's asleep.
But for him to hold on to the ball at the end, still kind of after the dude ripped it out. That's amazing.
Thank you, league, for rocking with us and giving us, the TD. And actually,
for real, boy, because we don't never catch them breaks.
I didn't expect that to be called a touchdown at all. I was happy.
I'm telling you, I was saying the same thing, man. But hey, they not lying. He had that ball
up until the point where his head made impact.
He took,
and he was already down. An elbow had touched.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and I believe a knee had touched.
Yeah.
So 2 feet have been in already.
3. I counted 3.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, and then
wait for him to. That was a good way for him to hold on to that ball.
Yeah.
Hey,
I just hate that for him, man. Because dude, I'm talking about week after week after week, putting up numbers, man, balling. But he'll be back. He'll be back and doing the same thing, So
he's showing us that's a good pick for us, man. I love
Great
it.
And we still ain't even seen the other pick, Trevor Penny. We still ain't seen what he capable of doing to get out there.
Fiery dude, but he's gonna get right. He's a good line. I don't think we need to mess anything up on the line because he's a tackle. We can't. I don't think we gotta leave our tackles where it's at for now as they're gelling. But there was an off-topic question: did Devontae Adams catch that ball? Y'all, if you remember, do you know what I'm talking about? The last drive where they called it incomplete. They reviewed it to make sure. Thoughts on that? I'm just trying to figure out what
I see why it was called incomplete. It almost could have went either way.
Yeah,
but I almost lean with what they called.
I actually about to say I was like
catch.
Incomplete. I was thinking the same thing, but I've been seeing everyone post it, and they were all talking about the refs being scared to call plays and stuff. But I was saying where y'all minds is at. But I agree with incomplete because he did the ball. You could see the ball leave both his hands, like really sharply, like boom.
Had to re-catch it. Yep, double catch it.
But by that point, he only had that 1 foot down, so it was a really good call. I'm just curious. Because you always see everybody like, oh, the refs cheating, or blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. Nah.
Okay.
That only happened in one game this week, and that was the Tampa Bay game.
That's it.
Hey, we're going to talk about it. The Chris Jones, that was a clean sack. He took the ball out of his hands, and that was some bullshit.
That's the worst call I've seen in years. That's worse. That's the worst call I've seen since the phantom pass interference that wasn't called in New Orleans against the Rams. There's no explanation. He did land on top of him, but it wasn't unnecessary. Like, it's a sack. I don't understand.
It wasn't necessary at all.
What they're asking defenders to do in the NFL these days is criminal.
Man, you know they gotta protect Paw. Come on, man.
How can you be the lowest man?
They gotta protect Paw, man.
But you have to be to bring somebody down, but also not land on top of them.
They want you to, you gotta. And like I said, it's hard because he literally ripped the balls out of his hands before he hits the ground, and then like it's a big dude, so you know.
You're asking him to clench his core,
right?
Belly roll and somehow land under him or beside him, and also make sure he's on the ground. Because a lot of these guys are big, strong players. They're 6'4", 220 plus, even at the quarterback position. Yeah. So it takes some force to bring these guys to the ground. And what the NFL is kind of trying to do is generate broken sacks and amazing plays that make these QBs look better than like Joe Montana and Ben Roethlisberger and the old regime to keep selling tickets. But it ain't that. It ain't football at this point if they want to go that way.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about right now, boss. That's some wild stuff, man.
Terrible. What sport are we playing at this point?
Touch football.
I'm just happy none of these calls have plagued the New Orleans Saints so far. Nothing egregious because
man, they know better. We'll lose our minds, man.
Twitter will be on fire.
I mean, even though we still be getting some here and there, like these past 2 weeks kind of been straight on. I can't really complain on too many calls these past. But the first 3 we went through, bro.
The NFL officiating crew all together, every single game that's played every week is bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
They need to go ahead
every game.
Go ahead and get some more or whatever, because them dudes is not working.
It's bad.
Or they trying to enforce stuff that Roger got going. I don't know, man. But it's real bad.
They got to. They definitely need to chill out because it's gonna cost somebody a season, a game, or something.
And hey, we all know about that.
Man,
cost us the damn Super Bowl on that no call in 2018, man.
So much, but it's every game now. You can point out a blatantly wrong call every single game that you turn on now. Like a call that is the opposite of what it should have been, but it just somehow, some way,
they just going about they going about their
flag or ruling. Like, terrible.
Nothing, man.
Terrible. But yeah, fellas, hey. We done talked about everything. I feel like, man, we done chopped it up about the week 5 Breesy Picks of the week.
Yes, indeed.
The W over the Seahawks. We talked about our next game coming up. And I feel I got high hopes for this next game too. So I feel like
Sunday afternoon, 12 o'clock in the dome.
In the
That's
dome,
the big key.
In the dome, and yeah, fellas, we got that pre-hype pod. To do.
Ooh, I can't wait to give my picks. Shoot, Draye, if you pick the games, if you pick them, Jones, post them in the comments. That way, everybody watching, they can see what games to pick for their 9. They can send them in right back at us, and we can talk about theirs.
That's a good
point.
Who
go 9-0.
That's a good point. And I also want to touch up on, man. Hey, facts. And I also want to touch up on the comment situation. I'm gonna fix that tonight, y'all. Whoever couldn't comment tonight or whatever, I'm gonna fix that. I don't know what's going on. It's on my end, of course, but I'm gonna get that fixed for the next.
Only Saints fans can comment.
I guess.
Wow. I ain't know
nothing about it here, man. Get him up out of here, man.
Yeah. Hey, I ain't no 6-0, man. Cowboys getting a dub, all right.
And that's the way I see it. I can't wait to get my picks because that's how I see it right now, unless something changes.
So when the Eagles take that L, I'm coming straight for you, Jalen. That's all I'm saying, man.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna have to talk about it. Tap in.
Nah, I definitely gonna pick this. I definitely might pick. I ain't even gonna give y'all my pick yet. I'm gonna hold off, man. I'm gonna hold off.
I am going undefeated on this next pick, man.
That's how I feel, man. I can't go 2-7 again. I went from going 7-2 for the past 2 weeks to 2-7. Man, that's ridiculous.
4 or 5 irritated me, man.
We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right and go 9.
We got
some it, man. Hey, we all go 9-0 1 week. Well, I don't know because we be having this
switching it up, but yeah.
But we got up heads here, like cats out here picking the Bears and shit.
Hey!
I was throw the coin toss on that one, man.
You got to sometimes.
Upset. They should have. That was close though. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah, but yeah, fellas, man, that's it, man. We talked about everything. Hey, it was a good one. Like I said, got that pre-hype pod, man. Everybody, yeah, if y'all watched it, if y'all watching right now, tune in, man. Cause, hey, yes.
Look, my mom just texted me. She said she going 9-0. So make sure you put hers in.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. My mama picks games better than me. So she might be on to something. We're gonna have to give them a chance. I want to see what Jamon puts in.
She's the one that's 7-2.
She might have gave me a little
some advice. He wearing with
he out here with the pick gate.
Yes, sir. We can't wait, man. Can't wait to get those picks in. Hopefully get another win. They love the 12 o'clock slot for us this year. We played almost all our games at noon except for in London. So hopefully y'all wake up early with us again on Sunday, 10:30, 11 or something like that.
Yeah, one of them. We'll chop it up and we'll drop the time.
We're gonna get to it.
Yeah, you like that one, Carmen? Yes, sir.
But it's on pick game.
Nah. I don't use her for evil.
But yeah, man, it's all love, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Another good one, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Maybe
this.
Who that?
Who that?
Who that? Who that? Hey, who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't, yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't, yeah. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints where you ain't? Cause you can't. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Let's get it. I like to thank Draye Allen and Jared Floyd for this opportunity. And yeah, this is not for no Falcon fans whatsoever. Yeah, we don't fuck with y'all. If you my friend, you my friend. But if you're a Falcon fan, we don't fuck with y'all. Yeah, hey, yeah, let's go.